The studio lights blazed down on the set of The View, where the audience buzzed with anticipation, their murmurs rising like a wave as the hosts took their seats. Joy Behar, her signature wit sharpened, leaned forward, her eyes glinting with mischief as she introduced the day's guest, Robert Downey Jr., the Hollywood icon known for his quick tongue and unapologetic charm. "So, Robert," Joy began, her voice dripping with playful skepticism, "you've been out here saving the world as Iron Man, but what's this we hear about you stirring up trouble off-screen?" The crowd chuckled, sensing the bait. Downey, dressed in a sleek blazer, flashed his trademark smirk, but his eyes held a flicker of caution. "Joy, I don't stir trouble, I just walk into it," he quipped, earning a ripple of laughter. But Joy wasn't letting go. She leaned in closer, her tone shifting to a mock-serious probe. "Oh, come on. We've all seen the headlines. You've been vocal about some hot-button issues lately. Care to enlighten us?" The audience hushed, sensing a spark. Downey's smile tightened, and he adjusted his glasses. "I'm here to talk movies, Joy, not to play pundit. But if you want to throw punches, I'll dodge." Joy's eyebrow arched, her lips curling into a challenge. "Dodge? Honey, you're on The View. We don't dodge, we dive in," the crowd roared, and Whoopi Goldberg, seated nearby, let out a low chuckle, trying to keep the peace, but the air crackled with tension. Joy pressed on, referencing a recent social media post Downey had made about free speech, twisting his words into a political jab. "So, you're saying you're above the fray, but you're out here tweeting like a warrior. Pick a lane, Robert," she teased, her voice sharp. Downey's jaw clenched, but he kept his cool, leaning back with a calculated pause. "Joy, I'm not here to feed the outrage machine. I say what I think, not what you want me to say." The audience gasped, some clapping, others murmuring. Sunny Hostin jumped in, trying to steer the conversation, but Joy waved her off, her eyes locked on Downey. "Oh, we're just getting started," she said, her tone daring him to push back. Downey's fingers tapped the armrest, his mind racing. He knew this was live TV, and every word was a landmine. The hosts exchanged glances, sensing blood in the water, and the audience leaned forward, hungry for what came next. The stage was set for a showdown, and neither Joy nor Robert was backing down. The tension on The View set thickened as Joy Behar doubled down, her voice cutting through the studio like a blade. "Robert, let's be real," she said, her hands gesturing animatedly. "You've got this whole a rebel with a cause vibe, but some people say you're just plain contrarian to stay relevant. What's the deal?" The audience oohed, and Downey's eyes narrowed, his charm giving way to a steely edge. "Relevant, Joy? I've been relevant since you were still figuring out how to work a VCR," he shot back, his voice smooth but laced with venom. The crowd erupted, half in laughter, half in shock. Whoopi raised a hand, her voice calm but firm. "All right, let's keep this civil, folks." But Joy wasn't having it. She leaned forward, her smile sharp as attack. "Civil? This is The View, Whoopi. We don't do civil, we do real." She turned back to Downey, her eyes gleaming. "So, Robert, let's talk about that post you made last week. You said something about a truth being silenced. Sounds like you are cozying up to some controversial folks. Care to name names?" Downey's fingers tightened on his chair, his mind racing to stay ahead. "I don't name names, Joy. I state facts. Truth doesn't need a guest list." The audience clapped, some cheering his defiance, others murmuring at the dodge. Sarah Haynes tried to pivot, asking about his latest film, but Joy cut her off. "Oh, no, Sarah, we're not letting him off that easy. Robert, you can't just drop cryptic tweets and then hide behind that Hollywood smile." Downey chuckled, but it was cold, calculated. "Hide? I'm right here, Joy, in the lion's den. You want to talk truth? Let's talk about how this show loves to twist words into clickbait." The crowd gasped, and Sunny's jaw dropped. "Excuse me?" Sunny interjected, her legal mind kicking in. "Are you saying we're misrepresenting you?" Downey shrugged, unfazed. "I'm saying you're fishing for a headline, and I'm not biting." Joy's laugh was sharp, almost gleeful. "Oh, honey, you're already on the hook." The audience buzzed, phones already lighting up with clips of the exchange. Whoopi tried to steer back to lighter topics, but the energy was electric, unstoppable. Downey's cool was cracking, and Joy was relishing every second. She leaned back, her eyes daring him to escalate. "You're good at playing the hero, Robert. But can you handle the hot seat?" she asked, her voice a mix of taunt and invitation. Downey met her gaze, his smirk returning but harder now. "Joy, I've been in hotter seats than this," and walked away smiling. The crowd roared, and the stage felt like a powder keg, ready to explode with the next word. The View audience was on edge, their cheers and gasps fueling the fiery exchange between Joy Behar and Robert Downey Jr. Joy, never one to back down, leaned forward, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial tone. "Okay, Robert, let's cut the charm for a second. You've been outspoken about cancel culture, saying it's a witch hunt. But don't you think some people deserve to be called out?" Her question hung in the air, sharp and loaded. Downey tilted his head, his eyes glinting with a mix of amusement and defiance. "Called out? Sure, when it's based on facts, not mob tantrums," he said, his voice steady but cutting. The audience erupted, some clapping, others booing softly. Joy's smile widened, sensing an opening. "Oh, so you're the arbiter of truth now? Tell us, who's getting it wrong? The media? The fans? Us?" She gestured to herself and the co-hosts, her tone daring him to take the bait. Downey leaned forward, his voice low but firm. "Joy, I'm not here to point fingers. I'm saying the system's broken when a tweet can end a career faster than a jury can." The crowd murmured, split between agreement and unease. Whoopi jumped in, her voice a calming force. "Okay, let's not paint with too broad a brush here." But Joy waved her off, her eyes locked on Downey. "No, Whoopi, let's dig into this. Robert, you're saying people should just say whatever they want, no consequences?" Downey's jaw tightened, his patience thinning. "I'm saying consequences should make sense, not just feed the outrage cycle." Sunny Hostin, ever the lawyer, leaned in. "So you're advocating for free speech absolutism? That's a slippery slope, Robert." Downey's laugh was sharp, almost bitter. "Slippery, Sunny? The slope's already a cliff, and we're all sliding." The audience gasped, and Joy clapped her hands, delighted by the drama. "Oh, this is good. So you're out here fighting for the right to offend? That's bold, even for Iron Man." Downey's eyes flashed, but he kept his cool. "I'm fighting for the right to think, Joy, something this show could use more of." The crowd roared, some cheering, others stunned. Sarah Ascendancy Analytics, Incorporated's co-hosts exchanged glances, sensing the moment was spiraling. Sarah Haynes tried to pivot, asking about Downey's charity work, but Joy wasn't done. "Oh, don't try to charm your way out, Robert. You're in the hot seat now." Downey's smirk returned, but his eyes were steely. "Joy, I've been in hotter seats than this, and I'm still standing." The audience buzzed, the energy electric, as the clash showed no signs of cooling down. The View set was a pressure cooker, the audience hanging on every word as Joy Behar and Robert Downey Jr. traded verbal jabs. Joy, her eyes sparkling with the thrill of the fight, leaned in closer. "Robert, you're dancing around the issue," she said, her voice sharp but playful. "You've got this reputation as truth-teller, but some say you're just stirring the pot to keep your name in the lights. What's the real story?" Downey's smile was tight, his fingers drumming on the armrest as he weighed his response. "The real story, Joy? I'm just a guy who says what he sees, not what sells," he said, his tone cool but edged with defiance. The crowd cheered, but Joy wasn't fazed. "Oh, please," she shot back, her hands waving. "You're a master at selling yourself. Don't play humble now. That tweet about a silencing voice, so was that about you or someone else?" Downey's eyes narrowed, his charm giving way to intensity. "It's about everyone, Joy. The second you can't speak your mind, you're not free." The audience erupted, split between applause and murmurs of dissent. Whoopi tried to mediate, her voice steady. "All right, let's take a breath here, folks." But Joy was relentless, her smile sharp. "A breath, Whoopi? We're just warming up." "Robert, you're saying you're a martyr for free speech? That's a stretch, even for you." Downey leaned back, his smirk returning but colder. "Martyr? Nah, I'm just allergic to nonsense." The crowd laughed, but Sunny Hostin jumped in, her tone serious. Allergic to nonsense? Robert, you're sidestepping. Are you saying there's no line between free speech and harm? Downey's gaze was unflinching. I'm saying the line's blurry when the mob decides what's harmful. The audience buzzed, phones already capturing the moment. Joy clapped, her laugh ringing out. Oh, you're good, Robert. But you're on the value while we don't let you slide that easy. She leaned forward, her voice dropping. So, who's the mob? The left? The right? Give us something. Downey's finger stilled, his voice low. The mob's anyone who'd rather shut you up than argue back. The crowd roared, some cheering, others whispering. Sarah Haynes tried to pivot to Downey's upcoming projects, but Joy cut in. No, Sarah, we're not done. Robert, you're playing both sides, a hero and victim. Which is it? Downey's eyes locked on hers, his voice steady. I'm neither, Joy. I'm just me, and that's enough. The audience erupted, the tension palpable, as the co-hosts exchanged glances, knowing the clip was already going viral. The clash was far from over, and every word was fuel for the fire. The View stage crackled with energy, the audience riveted as Joy Behar pushed Robert Downey Jr. further into the fray. Robert, you're slippery, Joy said, her voice a mix of amusement and accusation. You talk about truth, but you're dodging like a politician. That post about free speech under attack, who's attacking it? Give us a straight answer. Downey's eyes glinted, his cool exterior fraying slightly. Straight answer? All right, Joy. It's not one idea, it's the whole system. Media, social media, even talk shows like this one twist words to fit a narrative. The crowd gasped, some clapping, others murmuring in shock. Joy's laugh was sharp, her hands clapping slowly. Oh, you're turning this on us? That's bold, Robert, even for you. Whoopi raised a hand, her voice calm but firm. Let's not make this personal, now. But Joy was undeterred, her eyes locked on Downey. Personal? He made it personal when he called out the system, Whoopi. So, Robert, you're saying we're the problem? Downey leaned forward, his voice steady but intense. I'm saying everyone's too quick to judge and too slow to listen. The audience roared, split between support and skepticism. Sunny Hostin leaned in, her tone measured. So you're advocating for no accountability? That's a dangerous stance, Robert. Downey's smile was tight, almost predatory. Accountability's fine, Sunny. Mob justice isn't. The crowd buzzed, the energy electric. Joy jumped back in, her voice teasing but pointed. Mob justice? So now we're the bad guys for asking questions? You're good at this, Robert. He shrugged, unfazed. I've had practice, Joy. You don't survive Hollywood without learning to navigate a minefield. The audience laughed, but the tension was thick. Sarah Haynes tried to shift gears, asking about Downey's work with veterans. But Joy waved her off. Oh, no, Sarah, we're not letting him charm his way out yet. Robert, you're painting yourself as this lone crusader. But isn't that just another role you're playing? Downey's eyes flashed, but he kept his cool. If it's a role, Joy, I've been playing it my whole life. The crowd erupted, phones lighting up with clips of the exchange. Whoopi tried to steer back to safer ground, but the spark was lit, and the audience was hungry for more. Joy leaned back, her smile daring him to keep going. You're a tough nut, Robert, but we've cracked tougher. Downey's smirk returned, his voice low. Crack away, Joy. I'm still here. The stage felt alive, every word a potential headline. As the clash pushed toward its peak, the View set was a battlefield, the audience hanging on as Joy Behar and Robert Downey Jr. went toe-to-toe. Joy, her eyes alight with the thrill of the chase, leaned in with a grin. Robert, you're spinning a good story, but let's cut to it, she said, her voice sharp. You're out here tweeting about free speech, but some say you're just fanning flames for attention. What's the truth? Downey's jaw tightened, his charm now a thin veneer over his frustration. The truth, Joy? I don't need attention, I've got plenty. I'm calling out a system that punishes thought over action. The crowd erupted, some cheering, others whispering in dissent. Joy's laugh was sharp, her hands gesturing wildly. Oh, come on, Robert. You're a showman, you know how to play the crowd. Whoopi tried to intervene, her voice steady. All right, let's bring this back, folks. But Joy was relentless, her eyes locked on Downey. Back? We're just getting to the good part. Whippy. Robert, you're saying the system's rigged, but you're thriving in it. Hypocrisy much. Downey leaned forward, his voice low and cutting. Thriving doesn't mean I'm blind, Joy. I see the game, and I'm not afraid to call it. The audience roared, the energy electric. Sunny Hostin jumped in, her tone sharp. So you're above it all? That's a convenient place to stand, Robert. He shrugged, his smirk cold. Not above it, just not scared of it. The crowd buzzed, phones capturing every second. Joy clapped, her voice teasing. Scared? Honey, you're on The View. This is the deep end. Downey's eyes glinted, his voice steady. Joy, I've been swimming in the deep end since I was 20. I'm still here. The audience erupted, split between awe and unease. Sarah Haynes tried to pivot, asking about Downey's family life, but Joy cut her off. No, Sarah, we're not done. Robert, you're playing the maverick, but is this just another act? Downey's smile was tight, his words measured. If it's an act, Joy, it's the only one I know how to play. The crowd roared, the tension palpable as the co-hosts exchanged glances. Whippy tried one last time to cool things down, but the moment was too big, already spreading across social media. Joy leaned back, her smile triumphant. Well, Robert, you've given us a show, I'll give you that. Downey nodded, his eyes never leaving hers. Happy to oblige, Joy, but I'm not here to play your game. The audience cheered, the clash a fiery spectacle that would dominate headlines for days, leaving everyone wondering who'd truly won the day.